So let's talk about making incremental progress in martial arts and how that leads to much bigger things. Hey, it's Rishi Patel, third degree black belt in Choi Kwang Do once again. And I'm wanting to talk about this idea of making these small changes, these millimeter movements, where we just keep getting that little bit better. Now that could be in anything. It can be in learning a new technique in the martial art, or it can be in calling the class to attention, it can be in calling the pledge, the principles, it can be in certain movements, certain patterns, certain offense drills that we do, defense drills, application drills. There's so much in our martial art that children get to study from a self-defense perspective. And there's so much that we do in terms of our teens and adults classes as well that just keep compounding on top of each other. Now, as human beings, we make progress in a slow and steady way. And that's completely normal, and everyone will have a different rate. What we do here at Choi Kwang Do is we celebrate progress, even little bits of progress. So when students get a new belt rank, for example, they go from, let's say, yellow belt to yellow belt senior. We give them a certificate, we go through a formal grading process, and we get to celebrate that particular individual. It doesn't matter who it is, what background they come from, what walk of life they come from. We get to celebrate people, and this is an environment that fosters that celebration. And what does celebration do? It attracts more and more success, more and more progress, more and more incremental gains. Let's say that students need to learn a complex set of techniques to form their pattern. Now, certain patterns can have as much as 60, 70, 80 different techniques inside of there. Now, how do we do this? We chunk it down into small techniques, small parts of the pattern. We chunk it down into small segments. So we'll take maybe 5, 6, 7 different movements and we'll run them. And then we'll do the same thing for the next block and the next block and the next block. And then eventually we put this together. Now, how does this help the individual in day-to-day life? If you have to learn, let's say, a complex set of music, or you have to deliver a presentation at work, or you need to learn or memorize something for an exam. These skills are all cross-transferable. So students that come into the martial art, that learn these skills of understanding patterns and sequences and progress, not only do they become strong on the outside using the actual techniques of the martial art, they also become mentally strong as well, improving things like memory and skill in terms of retaining information. Generally, people in our society are not celebrated. In this environment which we've created in Choi Kwang Do, in our martial art, one of the things we do a lot of, as I said earlier, is we celebrate people. And it's so important to have that environment where people can just be celebrated for achieving something. And progression in the martial art is a really powerful thing. And so when someone passes a certain belt rank, it can really go and give them a boost of confidence, boost of self-esteem, and we continue to build on that. Now, when they take that out of the martial arts environment, it becomes even more exciting because they feel good about themselves. And the way we do one thing is ultimately the way we do everything. You see, Bruce Lee said he doesn't fear the man who has practiced 1,000 kicks once. He fears the man who has practiced one kick 1,000 times. So that can apply in terms of technical work that we do in the martial art, the kicking, the punching, the striking, all of the movements that we do. And it can also apply in the way in which we conduct ourselves, the discipline that we foster in the martial art, the values that we have as well, the fact that we keep practicing. Finally, we encourage students to really take pride in the progress that they're making. We really encourage them to understand the nuances of the martial art and the things that we do. One of the things that we do when we give them a new belt rank is we actually tie a belt knot and we actually give their old belt back to them tied. Why? Because it's representative of locking in the knowledge. And so they lock in the knowledge from the previous belt rank and they take it on to the next one. And so they compound, again, their learning, their enthusiasm compounds, their confidence compounds. In any case, like a student that comes into the martial art because they're progressing in a slow, steady way, their technical skills are getting much better, their confidence is improving, their self-discipline is improving in all aspects of their life because of the environment that we're creating in the martial art.